Discuss, and today we'll be talking about trend line. What is trend line? Trend line is basically like a support, but we draw trend line in a slant way. It's a slant support and resistance drawing. So we have two major types of trend line, which is uptrend line and downtrend line. And if you have watched the market structure course, so we have different types of trend line we draw when we're in an uptrend and when we're in a downtrend. So you are the one that will detect whether if we're in a downtrend or we're in an uptrend. So that one is left for you whenever you're on the chart. And I've already told you that whenever you are trading, you have to identify the trend first. Try to identify your trend before trading. Are we in an uptrend or are we in a downtrend? In any particular pair you are trading, you are to identify your trend. That is the first thing you should always do as a trader. Don't just go to the market and start trading blindly. So today, when we're in an uptrend, we have to be drawing this. Let me make this. And make sure that your trend line should always be slant. It should be slantly drawn, not drawn in a straight way like this. No, this is not how we draw trend line. We don't draw trend line like this. It must lie slant like this. So, and the two major types is, first of all, we have this, and the second one we have this. So when we're in a downtrend, this one right here is the one that we use when we're in a downtrend, and this one right here is the one that we use when we're in an uptrend. So how do we draw it? We draw it this way at the top of the wick of any high. First of all, you need 2 wicks. You need 2 highs when you're in a downtrend. You need 2 lower highs to draw your downtrend line. And you must connect them on the wick, the 2 of them. Then what you should be trading is the third touch to this trend line. The third touch to this trend line is what you'll be watching out for. Once it comes and retest on it, give you a very nice confirmation, you should sell to the downside. So that's how we trade the downtrend line. And the uptrend line, how do we trade that one? This is what it looks like. It looks like this. Create your first, you need this first low. This first low, this first higher low here, then another higher low should be created. Then this one is the second one, first and second. You should be waiting for the third touch here, then a very nice third touch here, create a very nice rejection or reversal candle that I taught you, then you buy it to the upside. This is how we trade the two trend line. And another one is trend line break. Trend line break. You need to be very, very careful when trading trend line because market makers use it for manipulation as well. So you don't want to fall victim of that. So you want to be trading carefully using your trading patterns, your reverse candlestick reversal patterns. So what is the best time frame to trade your trend line? You use the 4 hours. Use the 4 hours to plot a very nice trend line. Then another one again is your counter trend line. Counter trend line, you don't want to trade using the 4 hours. You want to draw another trend line inside the 4 hours and also trade this impulsive move, this correction to the downside, and also trade the correction to the downside, then also catch the breakout on the impulsive move to the upside as well. So that one, you should be using your 1 hour to draw your trend line. And another trend line trading strategy we have is this. We have this trend line breakout strategy, which is you have something like this. When you have something like this, creating this this lower highs, lower low, lower highs like that, then the third touch or the fourth touch, you get a breakout to the downside. This is a mistake. You get a breakout like this to the upside. So it's basically something like this. Then the third touch, you can see something like this, a complete breakout on the trend line like this. So in this case, if you have something like this, you should be waiting for a retest. Once there is a change of structure on the 4 hours time frame, you should always trade with your structure. So it might come to this trend line, then buy all the way to the upside. So this thing, market structure plays a very big role here. If you can know that alone, it's going to help you trade trend line the best way. And anybody telling you that trend line doesn't work is a big liar. Is a big liar, because you think about it, most of the biggest forex traders you know today, they are using trend line trading strategy and they are making cool amount of money, and you are just here listening to people, all these ICT traders. No, you should trade your trend line, but trade it with a very nice way, trade it in a very nice way, not the wrong way. So sometimes you also have something like this. You also have something like this, a process where you have this, 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 then the next thing you see a breakout. Then there is always a retest on this trend line, so you should be waiting for that too as well. Then you sell to the downside. These things are patterns of trend line. They are patterns, and not just trend line. We have what we call channel, and this channel involves two lines at once. So sometimes you have something like this. You have a downtrend, right? So this downtrend now, you're having a very nice structure being formed to the downside, a very nice structure. Let me clone this. So you have something like this. You have one at the bottom and you have one at the top. So that's how channel works. So this market is going to be just be ranging and be falling and be retesting this up and down trend line here. You can see it. This is channel here, and it's the most profitable one. If market can form a very nice channel, it's always sweet, very easy to trade, and it's always like that. So you can have something like this as well. So, and you can have something like this, a breakout, then a retest as well, then all the way to the upside. So all these things are like patterns you need. There are things you really need to have in your head. You can draw it out and be able to identify it. And we have different types of patterns in the market. Trendline trading pattern, we have different types. We have the ones that forms like this as well. And we have another one that forms like this. So in this case, it's like when the market is trending to the upside or making this type of range thing, you want to see something like this market create. Sorry, I was distracted. So you want to see the market creating this something, all these highs, all these long highs and lows like this, and suddenly you want to start seeing the pressure start dying a little bit, coming down, creating something like this, creating something like this. Sometimes you just see a breakout to the downside, and once it breaks out like this, sometimes it comes to retest it, and once you retest it like this, you see a sell to the downside like this. So, and we also have the inverse of it, where you have this as well, where you can have a breakout to the upside and a retest on this trend line, then it will push to the upside. So it depends on you, and the recommended time frame that I'm recommending for you to use is the 4 hours. Always use the 4 hours time frame. Always use the 4 hours, because it's really working, like it really works very well on the 4 hours, especially using the candlestick reversal patterns that I taught you. So it's going to help you a lot. Just have these things in your mind and you'll be good. That's it. So guys, let's go to the chart and plot our trend line and see how it goes and see how this trend line can really help you in trading. So we are on GBP USD on the 4 hours time frame. So we are to identify our trend, right? All right. So when you have this, okay, let's go to the current. Okay, let's start from here. So we see the market creating. Let's read this market using our market structure. The market was creating these highs, not equal high, sorry, equal lows, right? Higher highs, higher low, higher highs, higher low, higher highs, higher highs, higher low, higher highs, higher low, higher highs, right? as I was saying, it created a higher high again. What happened? We had a change of market structure because of what this low right here was taking. This low right here was taking, and we had another high created, lower high, then lower lows, lower high, but equal low high, right? So we had another lower low here, lower high, lower low, lower high. So once you identify this, with this with this first high here, second high here, right? You don't want to draw a trend line like this. You wait for a perfect, you can't draw a trend line like this. It's very, very wrong. Don't draw something like this. You want to draw a very nice perfect trend line that will be very slant, right? So you have not seen a very nice trend line forming, right? So you still have patience. You still need to wait. So this market again created what? A high here, created another high here. So what were you meant to do? These two highs is a very, 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 very valid height. You can see that it stand out. It stand out. And we are going to be connecting the wicks, not the body of the candle, the wicks only. We are going to be connecting from this wick. Let me still zoom this. So this is how we're going to be drawing our trend line from this wick to this wick. Draw it from here to this one. Make sure it's completely drawn, like it's perfectly drawn. Don't make mistakes with it. Don't make mistakes. So look at this. Take a look at this. You see what happened right here? What do we have? We have our first high created. This is where we draw our trend line from this point to this point. Then we had another high here, which gave us our trend line. This is where we draw our trend line. We connected 1, 2, right? Then now let's scale to the 1 hour time frame. Let me show you something. How can you trade this thing once the market gets to your trend line? How can you trade it? It's just very simple. It's just very, very simple. So this is how you can trade it. You scale to the 1 hour time frame or the 15 minutes time frame. So on the third touch, you want to see, you'll be looking for support zones resting above it. Support zones. If you don't see a very nice support, don't use it. Don't use it. So look for a support zones. If you don't see one, leave it. But right here, we have a very nice support at this region. We had support here. We had our resistance here. Sorry, not support. We had our resistance right there. We had something like that. So when do you want to enter this trade? Do you want to enter with this long candle? No. You want to use the candlestick reversal patterns that I taught you. That's what you want to use and enter this trade, or else you are going to make a very big loss on this trade. So look at what happened right here. We had this massive push to down upside, right? Did it respect our trend line? No, it did not give us any morning star or evening star forming here, right? So we are meant to always wait for what? Evening star, which is one at the top. You understand what I said? Those 3 candles that I recommended to you, do you see where it came to form it? 1, 2, 3. Gave us a very nice what? Hammer here, inverse hammer, inverted hammer. Then what happened next? It pushed all the way to the downside. And if you drag your Fibonacci from this low to this high, you will see that this was a very nice perfect entry with no mistakes. I've been trying to subscribe to TradingView Pro ever since my country banned it. I've been trading this thing, backtesting it live so that you will see how it works. So you see that it just retraced back to where 0.32 gave us what? A very nice bearish engulfing pattern, then continues to the downside. And this thing gave us what? From this point to this point is how many pips? This is 67.7 pips, which is a very nice point to catch in the market. So it's not bad. And what do we have next? We had a breakout on our trend line here. We had a breakout on our trend line. which starts from here. Do you see this? Let's go to, okay, let me just use the 1 hour. We had a breakout from this point. You understand what I taught you about your trend line being broken, then coming back to retest it, right? So that's what happened here, but it didn't come to retest it, rather it came to the support zone that was broken, the resistance zone that was broken and turned to support. It retested on it and pushed all the way to the upside. And if you are to be using your time zones that I taught you about, this is where your time zones comes in play, right? You're not going to be trading during this time, and you're going to be trading only during this time, because this market was in a downtrend. You generally know you don't want to be buying, right? So that buying mind shouldn't be on your plan at all. Don't even think of buying at this point, because of what the market is in a downtrend. So you want to focus more on sales only. And look at what happened here during New York session. We got a breakout to the upside, but this is a trend line breakout. Do you want to start trading uptrend? No. Do you want to start looking for a buy option? No. Because of what? We are in a downtrend. So we are going to mostly be seeing sales and sales and sales until market has shifted, which is change of market structure. If it did not change, we are not going to be looking for buys at all. So you don't want to fall victim to this. You don't want to enter a buy and start buying. All of a sudden, you see a very nice retrace to the back side. If you enter this buy now, you're just going to lose this, because of what? You did not plan well, because of what? You are in a downtrend and you are looking for buys, which is very bad. That is why most traders fail. That is why when you go to the chart, you draw your trend line, is not working for you, because you did not trade it well. You did not focus on your daily bias, which is your what? Your market structure. You did not. And when trading this, I would recommend you have a 50 EMA on the chart, exponential moving average or moving average on the chart. It will also show you where the market is changing structure, but I will also still talk about that one. But for now, I'm just teaching you how to trade trend line. And this is it for this one. You see that all these things work perfectly well. So when you have a high probability trades like this, you are to risk nothing less than 1% of your accounts, because of what? You have waited for so long for this thing to happen, and it finally happened. You shouldn't be playing with it. And once you draw your support zones like this, you see that, just take a look at what's happening here. You see that during this session, you just have a retest, then sell, retest, sell. It's not even on the trend line that I'm mostly going to be focusing on, but trend line is also going to give you a very high probability trades, because of what? Is another confluence to trading. Is another confluence to trading. And look what happened right here. We had this here. So you have to look back. The next day, what happened? Do we have a breakout on this trend line? Yes, we had it. And let's go to the 4 hours to check this. You see that we had a breakout and we have a change of market structure from this point. We had a change of market structure, right? So looking at these points now, you see that there is a support zone here. You see that there is a support zone right here. Let me delete this. Let me remove this. There is a support zone resting around this point. See, retest. All these things are very nice confirmation. And we had a market structure shift. So from this point, our trend has changed. So do we have any trend line running on the 4 hours? We have a low here, but it did not give us a very nice week. We had a low here, but it did not give us a very nice week. So this one gave us a very nice week here. From this point, we had a nice week. Then another one came here, tested our trend line. It tested our trend line. Then on that retest, look what happened here. Look what happened. You just draw your trend line, connect it with this second one here, then make it very long. Elongate, make it very, very long, so that you can be able to spot it on the week. Don't make mistake. On the week of the candle. On the week. So now let's go to the 1 hour and see what happened. So looking at the 1 hour chart, you see that we had a very nice support zones here. You see that we had this first retest, sorry, this is our first low, second low, then the third retest. What happened? What was the candle pattern? Taking a look at this point, look at our support zone and look at our trend line. This is what we call high probability trades. When I say high probability trades, this is what I mean. When I say that, this is what I mean. You can see this, a very nice what hammer was formed here, a hammer candle, and also what a morning star, very nice one, 1, 2, 3 candles formed. And take a look at this first candle rejection on this particular support and your trend line. And if you take a look at this is on a psychological level. Everything fits together just like that. And if you draw your Fibonacci from this point to this point, you will see that at that point was 0.382 level. Change it to the downside. You have from this high to this low, you see what happened exactly on 0.382 level. It came to retest it. What happened next? It pushed all the way to the upside. So trading is a waiting game. That's one thing you need to know. Trading is a waiting game. You always need to chill. You always need to wait for you to make money. It's guaranteed. Yes. Let me put it this way for you. It's guaranteed you can make money from forex trading. It's guaranteed, 100% guaranteed, but only on one condition. If only you can wait for your trades to play out and make sure you analyze your chart very well, follow it with a very nice risk management. You can flip from $100, $50 account doing this. Yes, I promise you that. I promise you, if you can be going this way, I promise you, you'll be making consistent profit. Even if you're going to lose, trust me, your wins will be more than what I've used this for I've been using this for a very long time now, for over 3 years now. It has been working for, I know what I'm saying. So taking a look at this, what happened right here, rejected exactly when London session. So the banks brought it all the way from this Asian session, swept everything here on the Asian session. What happened? Tap on our support, our trend line, our Fibonacci retracement on this next candle. If you scale to the 15 minutes, you make better entries. So you have to go to the 15 minutes, make your entries. And when you enter this type of trade, it take long. Trust me, like you're going to swing it. You are going to hold this trade, target where this high. First of all, this is your first take profit from this point. Is your first take profit. This point here, this first high here, it smashed it immediately during London. Even New York pushed it all the way further. So if you not even hold it this long, you can still wait. Or if you want to make another entry, draw your Fibonacci from this point, from this high here to this low. Look at what happened. It came to retest where 0.382 level again, pushed all the way to the upside. So this is how you want to be trading. You add more additional trades. Adding to this, once you break this structure, during what? The next day, it was London session, it broke that structure. What happened? You add more trades. Because of what? You are trading with the right direction. We are in an uptrend. You know that yes, I'm doing the right thing. I am not wrong at this point. You just be scaling it like that as it's breaking structures, using your higher time frame, your 4 hours, your daily time frame. Everything will be working perfectly well for you. The next day, what do we have? You know that you're in an uptrend, right? The next day, we came to retest this support resting from this past London session. It came to retest it during London. It pushed even further. So this is how you want to be trading. This is how you want to trade with trend line. So when I say trend line, counter trend line, let's talk about counter trend line. Counter trend line is just basically you. When we finish drawing our trend line on the 4 hours, we come to the 1 hour, look for our highs and our lows. we get to draw trend line inside the trend line. But this one now, when you're drawing it, you have to use a different color because you want to identify the major trend line and the minor trend line. And take a look at this. We had this high formed here. Don't forget we have a 4-hour trade. We had this low, right? Then this high created. We had a very nice low here, but it was not nice. Yes, this is nice actually. So you can draw it from this one. But look at something. This high here did not break this one. If it broke it, then we confirm that it's a very nice high. But this one right here took it out. Then we are going to be connecting from this point. From this point to this point. This is where this is what you are meant to learn. Learn this. Is going to really help you. Draw this. Support on it. If there is no support on it, don't trade it. So you see what happened right here. We had our very nice uptrend going all the way to the upside. We see that we had a break of what? Trend line on this zone. You see that we broke trend line. What happened the next day? This is another. The market pushed all the way to this point. Retesting where? Our support. Our resistance that is resting here. Our resistance that is resting here from this point, our resistance. Then what? A trend line touch. Rejected off that trend line. Then what happened next? Then it sold all the way to the downside. Look at this nice trade. Formed a very nice evening star here, then pushed all the way to the downside. So all these things are perfect trades. These are things you should focus more on. Don't focus on any other thing. And if you can continue drawing your trend line this way, trust me, you will never regret it because it works. It really, really, really works. And even if you are drawing from here, let me show you. Draw it with a very nice high. A very nice high. You don't want to make mistakes. A very nice high. No matter what is going to be, draw it a very nice one. You're always going to get a very nice entries using them. See how we had a very nice break. It retested on that trend line, pushed all the way to the upside, still came back again to that trend line, retested off it, and all these things, if you have to check it, is during London session. It's during London session, New York session, overlap. During this overlap, you'll be getting high probability trades. So why will you see this kind of confirmation trade, like this kind of probability trade, like this high probability trade, and you can't be able to risk 1 to 2% of your account? No, it's not done. So because this thing, you should be waiting for it 1 day, 2 days, and it finally happened, and you want to be risking 0.5%. Like, who does that? Who does that? Nobody. Don't do that. You have to trade, but wait patiently. If you see a very nice setup like this, don't joke with it. Don't joke with it because it works like as if you command it. So guys, this is the end of this video, and I hope you guys will learn from this, and please go to your chart, start drawing your trend line from today. Draw your mark your market, make sure you understand your market structure. Go and review it, draw highs and lows, try to identify them, all of that, blah, blah, blah. Go to the chart, try to demonstrate it, and trust me, you'll be good. You'll be good, very, very good. So guys, this is the end of the video, and see you on the next one.